Hello and happy. Is it Friday? Damn, it's Friday. Happy Friday. Super excited to connect with you today. I will be sharing with you some insights and ideas that can help you find a lot more love in your life. And for today, first thing I want to say is if you are watching this before I even start and you feel like you want to go deeper on its understandings and get a sense of what it really takes to enter the best relationship of your life, I've created a masterclass that you can access for free. First link on the description of this video will allow you to step into it. Second announcement, if at the end of this, in the middle of it, at some point you say, this is great, I just want something more customized to me, I want personalized help, I don't want to suffer needlessly for the next 5-10 years, I want to find my soulmate and I want your help in doing so. There's a second link on the description of this video that will allow you to apply to work with me. And when you submit the application, my assistant will read it and I will read it. And if we can help you, we'll follow up with you to schedule a time to connect. And if we can't, we'll let you know that we can't. But anyways, let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to say hi to everyone who's here right now. Kwali, how are you? Mildred, Katja, Andrea from the UK. Hello 3, I guess. Andrew M. Sandra Jones. Thank you for being here. What I want to share today is a little bit of something, and then I'll go straight into Q&A. It's not going to be long. I have found that a large number of human beings were attempting to create the most meaningful connection of all connections, which is a connection to your soulmate, and are not being able to find it, are not finding it in some sense because of a few things. But one of them, a major thing that I've seen is that they are confusing the problem with the side effect. Here's what I mean. If you say to me, Bert, my problem is I'm only attracted to guys who are not good for me, that is not a problem, that's a symptom. If you tell me all the guys in my city are taken, that's not a problem, that's a symptom. You're not seeing them. There are more guys, but you're not seeing them. So there's a few things that you show up that you feel is a problem, but it's not really a problem. It's a symptom of something greater. And my work centers around helping you to identify what is the root cause of the pain that you're suffering so that you solve the root cause versus the symptom that is not going to solve the deep problem. So that's what I do in all the videos that I put out there. If you've noticed, I share information, insights, practical things you can use in your life that maybe go a little out of the norm or a little out of here's the 5 things you need to do for a guy to fall in love with you. I mean, that's fun and I do it every now and then, but for the most part, I've been doing the best I can, especially recently, to do things that are topics that I know for sure will get me a lot less people to like the video, but will hopefully those who do watch it learn something they're not learning somewhere else. So that's my goal. So having said that, I am going to say, hey, Hugh, Nat, I will say, I'm going to answer a few questions today. So all I ask you to do right now, if you have a pressing question, is that you post it here. Sarah Jacob, how are you? Ninochka, how are you? So that you post it here. You post a concise question, and I'll be happy to give you some answers for as long as we can take this for right now. Okay, so let me start looking at the chat section. So again, if you have a question, go to the chat section and enter it, and we'll go from there. So Khadija, thank you so much. How are you? Okay, so first question I have is from Muslima MN. How empathetic? Stop attracting manipulation. Okay, how do I stop attracting manipulative persons? And how to be sure this person is not perverse or narcissistic? It's a good question. So first question, and hopefully all of you can learn from the answers that I'm giving you, okay? So in this case, how can an empathetic person stop attracting manipulative persons? You have to recognize that the empathy that you're feeling naturally needs to be tempered with a thoughtfulness. And here's what I mean. I connect with lots of women. For example, lots of my clients tell me, well, I'm such an empath, or I have such a big heart, therefore I believe the best about everyone. Well, if from the sounds of that, it would mean that you'd almost be a mean-spirited person to doubt someone. But the dark side of that open-hearted benevolence is ingenuity. The dark side of that benevolence is somebody abusing you. So the way you do it is you trust human beings intrinsically, and you don't open up at the level 100 until you've taken the time to get to know them. So you start with a situation where you trust someone and you connect with him in this specific case, and you're going to gauge how the man shows up, how he interacts with you, how he approaches you, how he promises things and fulfills them or not, how he is talk and action or all talk no action. And based on those both big gestures and small gestures, meaning the way he phrases things, the way he looks into your eyes, how that feeling of overwhelming goodness or overwhelming shadiness, that you take all those things into account and you either open more or you close more. If you do this gradually, you'll have less of a likelihood of falling for the wrong guy. Now, to avoid narcissistic human beings, you have to take time to get to know someone. So here's one of the biggest problems I've experienced right now. Not I've experienced, I've helped women to transcend. When you connect to a man that you feel so much for, there's a strong likelihood that you will turn your eye the other way when there's red flags that show up, because if you don't, that means this thing can stop. If you don't, that means that guy can run away and never see him again. So sometimes you notice things from the start that are weird. They feel weird in your stomach. They feel weird around you, but you say, screw it. I'm still going to go for it because my heart is feeling so excited. There's butterflies in my stomach and my heart. So it's on the early stages of getting to know someone, is going step by step. And when you notice weird things that strike you as wrong, that you do not just push them aside, that you don't just push them down, that you write them down, and that you can be more objective by noticing if there's been 10 things over the last week and you're writing them down and that make you feel uneasy, that's a red flag. When you see a red flag and you avoid it, that's when you get to connect to a narcissistic a-hole. When those red flags are addressed and either improve, or if not improved, you can move forward. That's something else. Don't have sex early on until the guy is your boyfriend. That's something that seems obvious, but it's not obvious to lots of women. And if you hold on longer, you'll be able to not get attached so quickly. So that's my answer for you. Hope it's helpful. Okay, next question. I think some people settle. This is Jamila. I think some people settle for someone they really don't. Let me go up because they have too many questions. They don't really love because they don't want to be alone, which is sad. That is correct. So that's a statement, not necessarily a question. Let me go back, see if there's a question. Okay. Warsha. I'm Warsha. I have many issues with my relationship. He's always telling me to submit, even if I already did it. How can I face this issue? Now it's very difficult for me. Well, I'm not sure what he means by submit. I'd love for you to ask him the question, WTF, dude, what do you mean by submit? Because if by submitting, he's talking about you opening your heart and being your feminine, I'm all for it. By submitting, that he's talking about you not paying attention to your highest calling or lowering your standards or doing things that you feel uncomfortable doing, then that's not submitting. That's putting yourself as a doormat unnecessarily. So my biggest, if I wanted to share something with you right now, is you need to get more specific with this man, and he needs to tell you specifically, precisely, and accurately what the fuck he means by submitting. And if you can, and any of my other videos, because this live would only go for so long, when you have that answer, say, remind me who you are. Say, this is Warsha. You asked me to ask you this question. Here's what this guy says submitting is. And when I have that specific information, I can be more practical in the advice I give you. Because I might say, run away, or I might say, ask him this other question. But I need to understand the context, because he might just be in a I don't know, mediocre way attempting to say, I want to feel you more, but that's not the precise language I would use. Okay, hope this is helpful. Okay, so Collie Grain, hello from Florida. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you being here. Constance, so good to see you. Okay, Ritika Rautela, my ex cheated on me in a month of relationship. Still have feelings for him. What should I do? Well, so here's the first thing I'll say. Cheating, something that happens in lots of relationships, not just by men, but also by women. Now, here's the challenge that I have with this. It's been only 1 month, and at the 1 month mark, he's cheating on you. That's not a strong, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence that this is going to change. It's up to you, honestly. My inclination is to say move on. but I understand there's nuance in relationships. So I need to understand a lot more about what's going on for you to go it. But if you're saying I feel a lot for him, you feeling a lot for him is not the reason why you should stay. You should stay if the guy has what it takes, the awareness, the intelligence, the stamina to overcome his obstacles and to honor you and to respect you and to not do that again. So if I were in Vegas, I would roll the dice into you leaving him because it's so early on. But I need to understand much more about the situation to give you more practical advice. The one thing I for sure will tell you right now is that you feeling a lot of emotions for him, that's not a good enough reason for you to stay. If he doesn't have the same vision for the future that you do, if he doesn't want to respect you long term, if he doesn't want this, if he doesn't have the same trajectory that you have or the same values of loyalty and respect and all those things, then as much as you might feel so strongly for him, it's not a good thing. Hope that's helpful. Let's go with Fernanda Toledo. Once a cheater, always a cheater? I disagree with that. I think some people cheat and then stop cheating. I see some people never cheat and then once they do it and then they like it. And again, I want to dispel this myth. Because here's the thing. I know that common norm would make you believe that most men cheat and women don't. And if you actually analyze statistics, and I'm not just pulling these numbers out of my butt, but these are statistics of relevant publications that are doing research on the way people cheat. In general, you will see a higher incidence of men cheating than women. In general. Now, when you get to the specifics, it matters. Because in general, I mean, when you have guys who are 60 and women who are 60, but if you go to 50, it's less. If you go to 40, it's much more even. If you go to 30, it's much more even. If you go to less than 30, there's more women who are cheating in relationships than men. So in the 30s and 40s and even 50s, there might be a 2% difference in the number of men cheating versus women. So there is a lot of men cheating, and there are. I'm not speaking English properly; it's my second language. But there are also lots of women cheating, and I disagree with that. Once you cheat, you'll always do it. I think that human beings have the capacity to redeem themselves, and the capacity to overcome their obstacles, and the capacity to understand where they're at. And I also say this one thing. There's also this myth that cheating only happens in relationships that are unhappy, and that's untrue. There's people who cheat sometimes when they're in a supposedly happy relationship because they're wanting to feel alive in ways that they're not. I'm not justifying it. I'm not condoning it. I'm just telling you that it happens, and that the fact that it happens doesn't mean that the person doesn't love the other person. It just means that there's something that they're attempting to seek that they're not finding within themselves first and foremost, and then in their relationship. So, but because why? Being in a monogamous relationship is a sacrifice, but it's a worthwhile sacrifice in my estimation. Okay. Hope that helps. Let me see. Okay. Hugh, where should I get confidence when I'm surrounded by prettier women? Men only seem to see attractive girls. Here's what I'll say to you. Men only see attractive girls. Men only feel attractive to attractive girls. Yes and no. Because attractiveness is not the DNA that you're born with. Attractiveness is not a super slim waist and blonde hair and blue eyes. Attractiveness is sexiness. Attractiveness is fire in your heart. Attractiveness is passion. Attractiveness is your big curves if you have them and you rock them with style. So I would agree with you that men are attracted to magnetic more than attractive women, but magnetism has nothing to do with your DNA. Some of it, okay, I get it. Some guys are attracted to specific characteristics, but there's far much more that's malleable, far much more that's within your control, within your influence for you to express. So if your delusion, my dear, and I say this with kindness, is that men are not looking at you because you're not beautiful enough, I'll say that is a bullshit belief. That the truth is you're not feeling confident enough, and the confidence that you're not expressing is making guys not see you. The expressiveness that you're not shining is making guys see some other women. So if you were to work on right now, moving with more confidence and loving yourself with all the problems and all the challenges that you have, not that you don't want to change it, but that you accept yourself the way you are. And as I said, because more likely than not, there's a weight issue here. And if you have a weight issue and you learn to be as healthy as you can be within reason and still embrace your beautiful curves, then men will like you. Or if you don't have curves and you rock whatever you have, rock it from your heart, and more guys will be attracted to you. And you're not looking for 1,000 guys. You want one cool dude that you can connect with and be monogamous with. So You don't have to have everybody like you. Just like you need to love yourself more. And love yourself more sounds like something cliche. I only look at myself in the mirror. I mean this. Love yourself more means be willing to praise yourself when you need to. Be willing to look at the beauty inside of you instead of the shitness. Be willing to embrace whatever body type you have right now in a way that allows others to, as a reflection of your own self-love, love you even more. Let's go to the next one. So Kali Axmeth. Hey, Kali, you're such a supporter of this channel. I love you so much. I just hope you know that. So how can I stop seeking validation from men staring or giving me attention at me? How beautiful to know I'm beautiful. I get my confidence from that, which is sad. Well, so first thing is, so accept that right now the level of validation that you're seeking is not, it's not bad. It's just, it's you're doing it at an unhealthy level. All women in their feminine appreciate being praised. All of them. All women in their feminine grow through deep desire, admiration from the conscious masculine, or from the conscious feminine as well. However, if your minimum requirement is somebody else looking at you and telling you you're beautiful, then you're kind of screwed. Here's why. Because there's going to be situations in life where you will show up first with confidence and then someone will look at you. So I'm not asking you to completely detach yourself from the enjoyment, from the joy of having people tell you how beautiful or sexy you are. I'm not asking you to not enjoy it. I'm simply asking you to do one more courageous step, which is love yourself regardless of who's saying things to you. And you can do that typically by, again, one of the things that I'm a proponent of in all my videos is physiology. The way you move changes the way you feel. So if you're feeling lack of confidence, you're moving in a way that's creating lack of confidence. If you move with more confidence, and you might have to practice this 20 times a day until you get it in your system. But if you practice dancing with your eyes closed, nobody's watching, practice moving with more confidence, practice in that moment where you feel I'm not being validated, take a deep breath and close your eyes and ask yourself, what's the most beautiful part of me today? Because it's different each day. What's the sexiest part of me? What is the most alive part of me? And then give yourself the validation you're seeking, and then allow that radiance to bring about even more validation or more praise from those around you. So I hope that's helpful. And once again, thank you so much for always being here and always sharing comments, and always, I so appreciate you, and I hope you know it. Priska Malu, I'm in a relationship of friends with benefits, but I think we have so much chemistry together. That's typically what friends with benefits is. Yet he's not making any move. What can I do to move forward? Move on. That's what you can do, move forward. Leave the dude. I've rarely encountered a situation where a guy wants to be a friend with benefit and wants no responsibility, but then he wants to take it to the finish line, marriage and children. More likely than not, that's not what he wants. So you can have a conversation with him saying, dude, I really like you, feel strong chemistry with you. Regardless of the strong chemistry, I'm looking for something with more depth than just chemistry, and I definitely don't want to be friends with benefits with anyone. So here's the thing. I really like you, and I think this could go forward and further, but the current dynamic is not allowing the safety in me to continue growing that way. So I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm telling you right now, I'm moving on. I'm going to go out and figure out who is a guy who wants to go the distance. And the distance means whatever you want, children, family, marriage, anything you're looking for. And should you at any point in your life decide that that's what you want, seek me out. Call me, text message me. And if I'm single, then we'll connect. And if I'm not single, then I'll have to decline. And then he can tell you, oh, thank you so much for telling me. I'm moving on to my next victim. Or he can say, dude, like I want you and I want to step up. And then he can start showing up more. But if you don't have the conversation and if you don't have the clarity in terms of what you want, you could do this friends with benefit thing in a way that pushes love away, robs you of your hunger, and puts you at a much higher risk than you're recognizing in different ways. From my biological perspective, if you're having sex with a guy, you could get pregnant. And if you're pregnant with a wrong dude, that's a life, that's a different life right there. You know, from an emotional perspective, you can become attached to a guy who's not good for you, and then he can start doing bad things and you can start lowering your self-esteem because you're now super attached to a guy who's not good for you. You're already at that stage at some level. But if you're cognizant enough that you're doing it, then you can probably still step out. You just have to know that there are men out there who want what you want, provided what you want is not friends with benefits. There are other men. If you want friends with benefits, you'll have plenty of guys show up that way, but it's going to feel empty for you. So my advice is that you move on in quickly and swiftly, and only if the guy wants more should he pursue you, and he pursue you differently than he wants right now. And if he doesn't, it's not about you. It's not like, oh, he's not pursuing you because you're not a good enough woman for him. He may just want something different, or he might want something that is not as committed as what you want and seek and deserve. Next question, Fernanda Toledo. What has worked for me is to get in a relationship with a man who consistently showed interest in me and moves forward in the relationship to the point of commitment. Do not chase men ever. I agree with your thing, and I'm happy that that's how it's showing up for you. Let me go back, see. You know what? My whole thing got moved. So let me go back and see. Okay. See if I missed someone. Okay, I'll do a few more. Sandra Jones. Burn, so I'm living in New Jersey right now, and I keep coming across men living with their mothers, which is a problem for me because I'm 52 years old. Am I overreacting? You are not. There is nothing good about a 50-year-old man living with his mommy. I don't care if he's so kind and he's taking care of her. There's ways to take care of someone that don't put you in a situation, I believe, where you are preventing yourself from finding a woman that's not your mom and from giving your mom the freedom she needs. Now, I understand, don't throw tomatoes at me, there's exceptions. So I'm not saying this is true for every single man. For the vast majority of men who are mama's boys at 50-something, you need to grow the hell up and just get your own place. I'm serious. So you're not overreacting. But here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to say, well, I've connected with some men who live with their moms, to now all men in New Jersey live with their moms, or even the majority of men live. So don't make this a story. Don't make this into a story. Move forward with passion and say, if that's not what you're looking for, a guy who at 50 years of age lives with his mom, then, and you have every fucking right to not be excited about that. I don't know anyone who'd be excited about that, honestly. Then say, thank you so much. If that ever changes, let's connect. And if that doesn't change, then that's cool too. I don't want to move you from your nest prematurely at the young, early age of 52 or something, right? Hope this is helpful to you. Okay, one more. Ala M, how to manage the feeling of being brokenhearted over and over and believing in love again. Well, you can't manage to go over the feeling of being brokenhearted if you don't learn what the hell's happening. Because if you don't learn what's happening, you're going to continue getting brokenhearted. So, my strong recommendation is that you get help. That's the. I mean, I could say, well, watch 150 of my videos and see if you get it. I don't. If you've already gone through the suffering of that. And I'm not asking you to reach out to me for help. I'm just saying reach out to someone for help, because maybe a strong couple of hours with someone who knows their stuff will tell you exactly what you're doing wrong and will stop you from 7 years of trying to figure it out unnecessarily. Okay? Samantha Dale, I'm sorry. He's good at showing me love, but won't say it yet. It's been 5 months. Shouldn't he be able to express his feelings in words too? He should be able to express his feelings in words too. And some people care to hear it. Some people don't. Most women absolutely care to hear it. So I don't know. I don't know the context of this relationship. I don't know if he's just your date or your boyfriend. If he's your boyfriend, at the time he's your boyfriend and your friend, why the hell would he become your boyfriend if he doesn't love you, or he can't express it? So I'd say it's a tough one, because I'm not sure if those 5 months have been in a relationship or you dated for 4 months and the last month he's been your boyfriend. Give him a little bit of time, but I would also ask you to figure out, ask him, probably ask him, tell me more about what it means for you to love someone. I just want to understand his model of the world. Maybe in his mind, if he says it, now he has to marry you, so he's not saying it because of that. Maybe nobody said it to him. I don't know what the situation is. I really have to have a back and forth conversation with you to give you something more meaningful. But to answer your specific question, he should be able to say it. And if it's something you really want, give him a chance to express it, but don't do without it. Don't come to 5 more months and he's not saying it and you're still hoping that he says it. If he's your boyfriend, he should be able to tell you that he loves you. And if he doesn't love you yet, then he shouldn't be your boyfriend. That's all I have to say. He should be your friend. I'll do Cici, if or Efe. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Beautiful woman. Okay, so $1 million question is, how do you find love in this day and age? A lot of the values of men and women have sadly diminished, and a lot of folks are just settling for less. That is true, Sissy. But here's what I'll say to you. If lots of guys and lots of women have lowered their standards and you haven't, not everybody's going to be a match for you. But those who are matches will see you from a mile away and become interested in you. Why? Because as you've pointed out, if lots of women don't have the standards that you have, then the right guy will find you more attractive, will find you more meaningful, will find you more unique, and will feel better about himself as a result of it. So this theme goes both ways. If lots of people have lost their way and you haven't, then for the right person, you will shine out like a pink polka dot, on a black ocean. You'll shine out. They'll be able to see you and feel you. So don't create a story about. Here's the danger in making generalizations. The generalization could be made into like everyone is this way, and now it's an excuse. So don't buy into the story. And same thing I shared with the previous person. Who was it? It was Samantha. Was it Samantha? No, it was somebody else. Ala. The same thing I shared with her. If this is a recurring thing for you, also figure out if you can get some help so that someone can share with you, because you might be thinking it's this, and it's something else perhaps that's preventing you. It's something else that's preventing you from finding love. There might be a roadblock you're not seeing. Blind spots are by definition blind. That's the whole thing with blind spots. So there might be something that's stopping you from creating the magnetism you want, the connection you want, and besides the fact that human beings have lost some of their standards. So hope this helps you in some way. I'll do one more. Okay, Ivy Rodriguez, my friend has been with her man for 17 years. It's like roommates. She wants romance. She's learning to lean into feminine. I notice that it's hard for her to allow him to take over. Do you have any advice? Well, it's hard for me to give you advice for your friend, because I'm not sure if your friend is super hungry for this or not. What I would say to you is that it takes two to tango. So she may not be leaning into her feminine. He may not be stepping into his masculine. That's also possible. I would say that the passion in a relationship gets sustained through a conscious commitment. And more likely than not, your friend of 17 months or 17 years, 17 years, they have lost the commitment to doing whatever it takes to create that sustainable passion. Passion doesn't just spring up and wake you up and shake you. Sometimes it happens that way, and that's inspiration by divine order, if you want to call it. But there's inspiration on demand. Inspiration on demand means you may not want to have sex with your partner, but you still initiate. And in the middle of initiation and having sex, something catches up with you and you feel so excited and so aroused. But it wouldn't have happened had you waited for that divine inspiration. So more likely than not, they need to do something or some things right now by virtue of discipline, not by virtue of excitement and feeling inspired, but the discipline would catch them midway and create a momentum that will then create inspiration, spontaneous inspiration. So they will have to do some things right now, even if they don't feel the most romantic towards each other, even if they don't feel like initiating sex or anything. They'll do it almost as a chore, not necessarily as a chore, but almost as something they have to do. And they will find their way in the middle of doing it. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it for both of them is for each one to look into their life and figure out how they are being passionate or not being passionate in their own life. Like, how the hell can you create passion with a human being if your life is lack of passion? It doesn't happen. You can't magnetize something sustainably. You can do it for the short term. You can't magnetize sustainably passionate relationship with a man when your life sucks or when your life is blah, meat-masked, 50% of excitement. Have her raise her excitement as much as she can by doing things she loves, by connecting with herself, by even sexually connecting with herself, like doing the things that she can right now to raise her vibration. And he can do the same thing. And then when they connect with each other, there's two full human beings full of excitement, aliveness, passion, surprise, who now have more to give to each other. She shouldn't feel discouraged by the fact that this has happened. This happens to lots of relationships, but there's ways out. You just have to have a stronger commitment to growth than to comfort, and which is probably what's happening right now. They're too comfortable. I'm going to choose one more, and then I have to go. But let me do one more. Who's missing here? Let me pick one randomly here. Okay. The problem is people are attracted to people who are not attracted to them most of the time. That was not a question. Okay, so Precept Malu, when a guy takes care of your needs in a way, he can get jealous when you want other guys. When you are with other guys, gives you mixed signals. What does that mean? Well, I'm not sure if the guy that's taking care of your needs is your boyfriend or a friend. I'm not sure what the situation is. And I'm not sure what you mean when you say that when you're with other guys. Will you have guys who are men? Okay, friends who are guys, that's not a problem. If you have a boyfriend and you're flirting with guys, then well, that would be a problem for any guy who cares about his self-dignity. I mean, if you're overdoing it. So I don't know what you mean. So I'll choose one more since that one I didn't fully answer. I'll do. Okay. What are the chances of meeting a good and serious man after 40? Elizabeth Mbugua. Goa? I'm butchering your name. I'm sorry. The chances are high if you're hungry. The chances are dim if you're not hungry. So here's the thing, and I'll close with this. In your life, you'll get what you commit to. Period. The end. You will not get the things you want in life. You will not get the things you wish for in life. You will get the things that are a musts in your life, and you commit to making them happen. There's a 5-degree upward space between I'll do my best and I'll do whatever it takes. There's not that much. Here's I'll do my best. Here's I'll do whatever it takes. And I'll do whatever it takes is everything you want and you're not getting. And I'll do my best is all the failures in your life. There you have it. Thank you so much for connecting with me. As always, I challenge you to live a full and conscious life. As I said at the beginning, if you want to go further into learning how to create the relationship of your dreams and you haven't been able to, first link on the description of this video will allow you to connect, enter your name and email, get into a masterclass that I created for you that will show you more details onto how you can do this. It's absolutely free. And last ask of you right now is if you feel like you want hand-holding, if you feel like you want specific customized advice that goes well beyond what we're doing here right now, face-to-face, then even virtually face-to-face, then second link will allow you to apply to work with me. It's not easy. It's challenging and it's not cheap, but it works. So if you're at the level of hunger where you're saying, I've had it and this is my highest priority in life and I'm willing to invest in myself, if you're at that stage, then apply to work with me and let's figure out if we're fit to work together. If you haven't liked this video, please like it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so you can be notified of new episodes that come out. Thank you so much for allowing me into your homes, into your hearts, into your cell phones today. And I wish you an amazing weekend. Look forward to doing more of this in the very near future. Okay? All my love to you.